you doing, everyone? Welcome along to a video. So, what should I say? Well. Deluxe edition, if you buy it, Rennsport, is out now. I think it's 3 days early before the actual official release, which will be the 13th. And yeah, I've seen the reviews off the bigger YouTubers, and not so much, not really a few that have got the early access, the 3 day early. It's really been, yeah, the bigger YouTubers, Random Call Sign, I think Overtake, Traction as well, and stuff like that. And it, from my perspective, it doesn't look good, which I did make a video, I think it's 18th of September, so what, about 2 months ish, give or take, and I did state in there, I will put a pick up now of the actual thumbnail of that video. I will put a link in the description box below if anyone wants to go and see that. But like I said, I don't want to say I told you so. I do like to give everyone the benefit of the doubt, but as I covered in that video and obviously stated why I wouldn't be buying the title, and I've always had in the back of my mind that, to start with, when they obviously announced the release and the cross-platform for Xbox, and the way they were going to structure almost like the pay to win, that sort of scenario, and then they reneged on that. They changed that and said it was going to be more sort of DLCs and everything else, which they needed to do. I always thought it was a cash grab. I always thought them obviously releasing it before the other sort of main sort of console / cross-platform stuff titles to come out was their ploy to try and sort of maximize, but I think it's maybe gone and fallen, or yeah, sort of fallen by the wayside, so to speak. And just, well, they would have had people sort of getting back to them before the release saying this needs sorted, that needs sorted. I mean, I've had it on on PC for well over a year, and yet they updated it throughout that year and everything else, but it just never felt right. And as again in that video I made, I stated this, there was no AI at that point. Yes, there is AI now, and the AI are supposed to be absolutely shocking, and the sort of the offline and everything else is bare bones. So yeah, I'm like I said, yeah, it's I won't be buying it, definitely not. Now obviously you guys know, the people that are regularly on my channel, I've already bought Project Motor Racing, so I'm sort of putting all my eggs in that basket. Don't get me wrong, I think in time, hopefully they will update everything. They will, obviously, because it's, well, I was gonna say it's a new release. It is a new release, but it's been out a few years, in the sort of the earlier versions, the betas and everything else, so it's not like they haven't had time. Unreal Engine as well, seen the comments from the reviews on that, where, and I've even seen, like I said, in the videos that these YouTubers, bigger YouTubers with their reviews have put, and sort of the graphics popping in and out and everything else. Now, you used to sort of get that with ACC, with Unreal Engine, but like I said, Unreal Engine isn't new anymore. You'd have thought that the devs would have got hold of this, they would have worked stuff out to get it as crisp as possible. I mean, I did notice again in somebody else's review saying about it's not very well optimized. I don't know if that's an Unreal Engine side. I mean, ACC on PC isn't too bad now if you compare it to, say, Evo, that I've been doing with, say, the specs of my PC. It's a lot better optimized than, say, yeah, Evo is. For the actual sort of raw horsepower that you run, the FPS that you want. So yeah, it's, as I said, it's not looking good. I don't like making videos like this, to be fair. At the end of the day, I am a console player at heart. I think it's a good idea. It was a good idea to have the cross-platform for PlayStation, Xbox and PC. I think, yeah, Project Motor Racing has got this now, or will have when they release and stuff like that. So people are getting on board with that, which is good for all sort of free platforms. Really, it's two. It's PC and console. Like I said, so we just get bigger grids, bigger lobbies, more people in, which I'm all for. But as I said, if the sort of basis of the actual title isn't great, then yeah, I'm like, as I said, it's in my mind cash grab. In my mind, get it out before all the other competitions. Have cross-platform for console and PC, and then like I said, I'm shocked at the end of the day. I don't know how long in the works they had the AI planned. As I said, I did sort of beat them up about it in that video I had, saying that no AI, so then no real sort of offline, or there wasn't in the version on PC that I was running. And like I said, now going on people's reviews, it's bare bones. Yes, over time you expect patches, you'll expect the AI to get better, or you'd hope. You'd expect maybe a bigger offline, a bigger sort of championship or offline championship, stuff like that. I mean, I'm sort of thinking from the perspective of Project Motor Racing, where that really got my attention, and probably the selling point, well, one of the selling points. I think the other was watching Gamer Muscle at one of the versions that he played on at one of the sort of expos. It wasn't the last expo, I think it was the one before, and for his sort of feedback on the whole sort of characteristics, the physics and everything else, that as well as the offline, the standalone sort of career mode, I suppose it is, that intrigued me, because it's all well and good. We all like, or I do from my sort of perspective, I like online, I like going up against actual real players, not so much AI, but I do enjoy, I'm old at the end of the day, I do enjoy a career mode. You know what I mean? All the titles that I used to get years and years ago, not so much sim titles, but other titles, whether they be first-person shooters and everything else, you'd always have a career sort of mode, like I said, depending what sort of genre the game was, and they seem to have sort of lost that sort of element to it. So like I said, going back to Project Motor Racing quickly, that sort of having a starter sort of amount of money, buying your team, or not so much buying your team, creating your team, buying your car, then entering into sort of championships, and I think that they say along the lines of obviously trying to keep it basically not wiping out your car, and then obviously it's going to cost you more of your sort of money that you've got, that you started with, to then sort of obviously progress your team up and go into different championships and everything else. Like I said, that intrigued me, that really did. So like I said, for Rennsport to not really have anything, and then like I said, the AI being like apparently really, really bad. Online, I think that's supposed to be not too bad. I think I've heard that the sort of joining the lobbies is quick. There was no sort of issues in the servers when you're racing and everything else, which is good. But yeah, like I said, it's obviously going on. It's out the 13th. I think we dare say we'll get a lot more reviews from the sort of lower end YouTubers like myself, with a couple of thousand and less subscribers, and the actual sort of, I wouldn't say the drivers, it's a little bit sort of, but the sort of as I said, a more of a wider variety or wider sort of aspect of reviews. So I will be checking, I will keep checking, but as I said, I don't think I will be purchasing it anytime soon. From my perspective as well, which I found out, there isn't or as far as I'm aware, no, I don't think there is sort of more a support for VR, which obviously is the PC side, and triple screens. A few people know that I've gone over to triples with the videos I've brought out, so that again is not a good thing. So yeah, as I said, just not a rant video, but again, not a sort of told you so video either, just maybe a video if people stumble across it, just my perspective, and maybe just hold out till maybe Project Motor Racing, or hold out till they've had time, the devs, even though they have had time, to be fair, before it's even been released, they've had time to update everything, make the AI better, make the offline, make a career mode, or and stuff like that. So, but yeah, as I said, if you found it informative, again, I will put a link to my older video on Rennsport in the description box below. But yeah, give me your thoughts. Have you actually bought it? If you have, what do you think the sort of overall, the physics, the handling, then obviously the online, the offline, the AI, let me know. And obviously also the graphics side as well, because consoles aren't as or for say putting it as an example, or yeah, to my PC. My PC is a lot more powerful than a console. So, as I said, I still sort of struggled at 4K with everything switched on. I think I was, what it was it 120 FPS maybe, if my memory serves. So, as I said, what's it like on console? They would have had to sacrifice some things to do with the graphics. Again, I did watch another review from somebody else, and it was at Spa, and they were starting to come down to Eau Rouge, and you just saw the sort of barriers starting to appear or be sort of come in, like the sort of popping in kind of thing, and it was really off-putting, if I'm honest. So, as I said, they would have obviously have to sacrifice some things for console. But yeah, definitely give me your thoughts in the description box below. I always like hearing from you guys, your thoughts and inputs on it. But yeah, that's me. I'm going to go. As I said, I'm sort of waiting really for a Assetto Corsa Rally to sort of come out in its beta, which is a days away. The update to it, Evo as well, I'm waiting for the 0.4 because there's some nice cars coming to that. And obviously Project Motor Racing, which is out on the 25th. So that's what I'm waiting for. As I said, I'm definitely not going to pull the trigger on Rennsport. But yeah, as always, guys, thank you so much, and I'll catch you on the next one.